Hello, Facebook, YouTube. Time. Yeah, I think I'm live, but I'm not sure how strong my connection is. So, if I have to cancel one, I will cancel. 3 weeks actually. Hopefully, you can hear me. The audio here, I don't know. It's going to be weird. Yeah. So for 3 weeks, it's been a crazy journey. If you missed the previous video that I posted 3 weeks ago, I was robbed. I was robbed at knife point. Some guy had a huge machete and he held it above my head and he took everything that was in my pocket, which was my mobile and like 100 rupees, which is like $1.50, something like that. So he stole my phone. The money lost from the phone is not the biggest issue. It is an issue, but the big problem was, hello, Janice. The big issue was getting a new phone and getting a new SIM, because in India, getting a SIM as a foreigner is not an easy task. But first I had to get a phone. So that was interesting. Generally, I don't keep a lot of money in my bank account. I don't know, I just don't. I think probably subconsciously one of the big reasons is if someone ever tries to steal from me and hold me at gunpoint or knife point and say, give me all the money in your ATM, there's not going to be a lot there. So every several months, I will deposit a little bit more in there. So anyway, this story is so deep and so complex, so you have to like get ready for this. For about 6 or 8 months, I've been looking at a new phone. I need to buy one, or in case, I don't know, I win the lottery and I just want to buy a new phone. There's only like 11 phones in the world that have a special zoom. You can zoom extremely far with these phones. The iPhone has it, the latest Samsung has it, and Google Pixel has it, and a couple other phones, including the one that I wanted, which was the Xiaomi 10. So I've been doing tons of research, and I decided I need this phone. I want this phone. And so my phone was stolen. I thought, oh my God, now I have to find this phone. I have to look for the Google Pixel and all these other options. And I found the Google Pixel, but it was more expensive with less RAM. And I found the Xiaomi 10. And I thought, okay, I can get this phone, but I need to go to the bank account. And when I'm in India, I can withdraw 10,000 rupees a day. That's just what my account allows me, which 10,000 rupees plus the fee, everything is like $150 a day, which in India is plenty. But for a phone, I needed more. So I withdrew the first day and waited 10,000. I withdrew the second day and waited 10,000. Third day, 10,000. On the fourth day, I'm thinking, I'm going to buy the phone. I withdraw. Nope, not enough funds. Yeah, insufficient. So I'm like, oh my God. So then my mother usually handles my checkbook. I said, write a check for me from this bank and put it in this account. Okay, no problem. Well, apparently the mail is slow. It took like 6 days before that money ended up in my next bank account. So, oh my God. So then I had to wait until the funds came in. While I was at the shop, I tried to set up Google Pay. Never used it, but I tried to set up because it's quite popular here, Google Pay. And so I connected my PayPal account, because PayPal is not available in like Bangladesh and India and probably many other countries. I don't know. It's just not available. So I connected my PayPal to my Google Pay, and then I went into the shop. They had to give me internet. I used my laptop. Nobody could figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. And I kept going on Google, and I think I kind of found that apparently an American account cannot transfer to an Indian account. They're like totally separate. So I couldn't pay with the internet. So anyway, I had to wait for 6 days for the money to go into my account. I finally go into my account, and I take out the last bit, which it's 40,000 total. That's all I need for the new phone. It was exactly 40,000. So anyway, I take all of the cash that I've been saving in my room, this big wad. It should be like 40,000. I count everything, and I've been spending money while waiting for the fourth withdrawal because I need to eat food. I need to eat food basically. And so anyway, I count every rupee that I have. It is exactly 40,000, like exactly. So I'm like, shit. Now, how am I going to eat? Like, so I'm thinking, oh my God, I had one little storage place behind that I had like 200 rupees. So I had to survive on 200 rupees for an entire 24 hours because I needed to buy the phone. So crazy. So anyway, because I couldn't withdraw more money, I had to wait another day to get more money. So anyway, this is where the story gets crazy. I go to the shop. To buy the phone that I wanted, which was the Mi 10 Pro, T Pro, something like that. The Pro version, the high version, because it has that feature. And so I go in there, and we had been talking for a long time, many days before. Everybody's looking on YouTube and seeing the zoom of the Mi 10 Pro, and it's just amazing. They're like, oh my God, we want to see this phone. Please open it. We want to play with the zoom also. So we open it and turn it on, and I cannot figure out how to do the zoom. Like, oh my God. So what the hell? So it's only going to 30, only going to 30. I'm like, what? We can't figure this out. This is so complicated. Why? So everybody's on Google. I'm on Google. They're on Google. We're trying to figure out what the hell. The reason is because the Mi 10 Pro doesn't have the feature. You have to get the Mi 10 Ultra. Like, and sitting in the shop was this Mi 10, a different Mi 10, and then the one that I got was the Pro. There's apparently another one, they didn't know about it, I didn't know about it, called the Ultra. It's not available. You had to order it online. So anyway, after they opened it, I'm like, well, can you order that one? They're like, no, sorry, once it's open, it's open. So shit, I just wasted 40,000 on a phone that I really wanted, and it's not even the phone that I really wanted, because it doesn't even have the feature that I specifically wanted. In the cost difference between this phone and the one I want is like $20. Like, there's no difference. It's the same price. So frustrating. So now I have a new phone. It's very fast. It's very powerful. I like it, I guess. I just like having a phone. But the issue is it doesn't have the one feature that I wanted it to have. So anyway, it took me, and then after I got the phone, it took me a week to get a SIM card because foreigners cannot get SIM cards, or you have to do special things. I don't know. Some foreigners have luck. I guess if you go to the airport, you might have luck there. But let me tell you, going to any of there's 4 major companies that I know of in India, and if you go to any of the shops, they just look at you like, nope, I'm not giving you a SIM card, you're a foreigner. So what can we do? And then I go to all of the net shops, I went to 15 or 18 in the city, 15 or 18. It took me like 6 hours to go walking all around the city to go to each and every shop. It took me so long. All of them said no. Why? Because you're a foreigner. You can't use our internet. You're a foreigner. Like you must be dangerous. Yeah, it's just maddening. You cannot believe how difficult it is here. People think that you're a terrorist because you're not Indian, so therefore you can't use our internet. So anyway, luckily I found one man who has been out of India before. He traveled to Malaysia for a couple of years, and then he came back, and so he's like, oh yeah, no problem. It wasn't even a net shop, it was a Xerox shop, it was a copy machine shop. He just has a copy shop, so people go in, give him a piece of paper, he does copy machine stuff, and then he gives them the paper. That's his job. And like he was like, yeah, no problem, you can use the internet. So obviously I had to pay him, but no problem. But yeah, it took me 18 different shops before I finally found a man who says, yeah, no problem. It's just so crazy. And so that's how I was able to upload some videos. So you'll see on YouTube, I've recently uploaded a lot of videos with me talking because there's not a lot, I couldn't go out walking, I couldn't go anywhere. It's really difficult. You can't navigate without a phone, without a GPS, without signal. It gets really complicated. What if you get lost? And I don't know. So nope, I waited. So now I can go out. I was going to go today, but I forgot the part of my gimbal. So unfortunately, I didn't go out today. So I'll go tomorrow. I'll go to the village and do some filming. YouTube, hello over here. You are from Bangladesh. What's up? PayPal is available in India. If it is, everything that I read on the internet about PayPal is wrong because they all said it's blocked in India. Even in Bangladesh, it was blocked because I even tried to pay people in India with PayPal and they didn't accept it. I'm like, why? And we started looking and because it's blocked. Not unless it recently opened. Yeah. Roll 39, bro. You can use Payoneer account. Yeah. So the other, I'm in a place called Madurai. It's in southern India, Tamil Nadu. Apparently, if I open up an Indian bank account, then everything will be okay. But I really don't want to open up an Indian bank account because A, it's complicated, and B, when I leave India, like I'll just have a bank account sitting in India. It just seems kind of weird. Can you like return and get your money back? No, they're like, dude, the box is open. You touched it. I'm like, what the hell? Even you were looking at this and thinking, I had the 100 times zoom. No, so it was, I would say 75% my mistake. I guess I had no idea that there was another phone, even though I researched 1,000 web pages and videos. Even people, when they made a YouTube video talking about their phone, they would describe it as the Pro. The Mi 10 Pro has this feature. Even they didn't know the difference between an Ultra and a Pro, I guess. I don't know. So a lot of mislabeled stuff, unfortunately. Yeah, but no, I cannot get the money back. It's already whatever. So maybe 5 years in the future, when I need another phone, I will get that feature, I guess. When do you plan on leaving India? Where are you going after leaving? I will go to Sri Lanka, and I will leave the moment flights open up. There are currently no flights to go to Sri Lanka unless they opened in the last 3 weeks. I called them 3 weeks ago, and they said, nope, it's still not available. Well, I told them, they said they will check all the way through April, and they said, we can look until April, and there's no flights even until April. So right now, there's still no flights. So that's what they told me. So I will stay here until flights open up. Good to see you too. Cheers. So I bought Banta, first time, Banta. I have no idea. It's limo, not lemon, not lime, limo. That's what it is. So sometimes these drinks, the local drinks in the local countries that I visited, sometimes they're okay, and sometimes they have like a crazy taste, but then the aftertaste is good. Sometimes it has a wonderful taste, and then the aftertaste is terrible. So I'm curious what this is going to be like for me. I don't know. I don't buy drink soda much. That's good. That's like a. That's okay. I had another local one similar to this. It was better. Same size. Yeah, it's kind of like 7-Up, or it's like 7-Up, and no. It's like Sprite, but a stronger Sprite flavor. The other one that I had was just like Sprite or 7-Up, or maybe together Sprite 7-Up, but the flavor was really strong. So it was really, really good. It was only 10 rupees, which is like 12 cents, 13 cents, something like that. It's really cool. You look unhealthy. It's the lighting. I look like red. I don't know. If I turn this off, I could. Yeah, it's just the light is absolutely terrible in here, I think. Unhealthy. I don't know. Maybe it's all the wrinkles. But I've had these since I was like 9 years old. I don't know. No idea. Hello. When? Oh, I already read that one. Roll 39. That must be a name. If you need roll 39. If you need any info or anything else, I don't know what you mean. When do you come back to Vietnam? When do you come back? I don't know. I honestly thought that last year in April I was going to be in Sri Lanka for. Can you see me? I was going to be in Sri Lanka for a month, and then go to New Delhi to Pakistan, Pakistan back to New Delhi, India. And then after I went to New Delhi in India and finished editing, I was going to go to either Bangladesh, Vietnam, or the Philippines. I was going to go back to one of those countries. So possibly, but obviously last year was destroyed. Everything is terrible. Yeah, so I don't know. Now I'm just kind of waiting. I'm still waiting. Again, people have said, well, why not just cancel Sri Lanka and go to a different country? It's complicated. That's why. It's very, very, very complicated. Financially, it's complicated. This whole COVID testing is complicated. The rules and regulations when you get there are complicated. Some places you have to lock down still for 14 days in a government-regulated hotel. with the meals that they provide. And these prices are super, super, super expensive, even in third world countries where prices should be cheap. They overcharge the foreigner. And so the cost to go traveling to a different country, that it's just complicated, and it's just insane. So I'm just going to wait till things open up, and then everything should be hopefully cheaper, smoother, easier. I don't know. It's just complicated. Do you usually rupees buy rupees? I don't know what that is. All of you tell from which countries? Yeah. Where's everybody from? Even over here, there's not many people on Facebook. What time is it? I don't know why, but yeah. Which country is everybody from right now? Someone's from Vietnam. Someone's from Bangladesh. That's all I know. Do you usually cook by yourself or grab some food from the street? I only grab food from the street because in the room, they don't often allow you to cook. And even if they did allow you to cook, I would have to buy cooking utensils. I'd have to buy pots and pans and a stove and gas. I'd have to buy all that. And then if I were to leave in a month, then I would just leave it here, and all of that money would go to waste. So no. I only go outside and go to restaurants and have them prepare. Generally, I eat a lot of omelets, as you can see in the photos. I eat a lot of eggs. They're clean. They're prepared fresh. Basically, they put the egg, it cooks, and they put it on the plate and give it to me, and it's finished, or in the bag, it's finished. It's kind of difficult to make an omelet unclean, but I watch them sometimes and I think, oh my God, I'm not sure if I can eat this, because they'll like cook it and you think, oh, okay, it's cooked, no problem. But then they pick it up with a spatula and they put it down, sometimes on like a table, swear to God, a table. And this table looks like it's never been washed in its entire life, like ever in the history of the restaurant, never washed. Sometimes it's on a metal surface that's full of dust and shit. Like you can't even believe. There have been times I just threw the food in the garbage can when I walk out. I'm like, what the hell? You cannot argue with them and say, are you kidding me? Like what? You just pick it up and put it on a table full of dust and like shit, and then from there, a different man will pick it up. He's the money guy. He takes money, gives money, change, and then he stands up and he goes over and he grabs the omelet with his bare hands. And then he puts it in the bag, wraps it, and then gives it to me. Swear to God, this is almost a daily thing, and you just can't even believe it. So I have to watch them, and if they do something terrible, then I just throw it in the garbage can, and then I just go eat something else. It's really crazy. You just can't even believe. And this is like a nicer restaurant, where you would think that people would be educated enough to do this. Nope. It's just like they swear. I could tell you stories. It would just make you want to puke. It's really crazy. So you just have to be careful. It's so crazy. Use the account for my online classes, so I give roll 30 minutes. Okay. You're from India, or you can use Swiggy and order in. Yeah, there's Swiggy, there's Uber Eats, there's another one. I don't use any of them because I cannot pay online. All of my cards, nothing works basically for a foreigner in your country. And if it does go through, I'll have to call my bank and they'll lock my account. It's just really complicated. Not only that, I'll get charged a lot extra money because I'm using a foreign card in there. So if I pay 200 rupees for a meal, it'll be like 250 or 280 for the meal because I get charged extra money at my bank. It might even be more than that. Maybe it'll be like a flat fee because I used the card, and it might be a 200 rupee meal would be like 500 rupees total because I used a card. So it's just, I have to pay cash. It's complicated. Maybe they can take money on arrival. I don't know, but I don't do it. Because they'll call with directions and, where are you? But they don't speak English and I don't speak Tamil, and sometimes it gets so complicated for the easiest thing. So I just do the easy thing. Is Vietnam similar to Philippines or China? I know Vietnam is where East Asia and Southeast Asia connected. From my perspective, Vietnam is so similar to China The culture, the people are very, very similar. They look a little bit different. They act a little bit different, but oh man, like when I lived in Vietnam for more than a year, and then when I went to China, I felt like I was in Vietnam again. Especially when you go to the rural areas, like outside of the city, it was, I mean, they lived just like the people in Vietnam. Even houses were sometimes similar, but I don't know. So I felt like Vietnam is China's past. Like China, I don't know, like China. How do I even say that? I don't know. But I feel like if you go from China to Vietnam, you like go back in time when you go into Vietnam. They're like behind China, but it's so similar, really similar to me. I mean, obviously, if someone from Vietnam goes to China or China goes to Vietnam, they'd be like, oh, it's a different country. But from my perspective, they were very similar. It's similar to how the Philippines and Indonesia are quite similar also. Even in the language, they are quite similar. Tagalog and Indonesian, or what is it, Basha, something? There were words in Chinese that were very similar to Vietnamese, and they had the same meaning. I think that like a hippopotamus, hippo, was one. Yeah, what was it? Oh my God, I'm going back so many years. Who's from Vietnam in here? How do you say, Silk is here, Vietnam. Vietnamese, hippopotamus, isn't it like hama? And in Chinese, it was ma, which is weird. So that's how you say hippopotamus in two languages, but they're two different languages. But anyway, so some of the things that the man from China would say, and I would say, oh, that sounds like Vietnamese. And I said, what is the meaning? And he would tell me, I'd say, that's the same thing in Vietnamese. So that happened a couple of times when I was there. The quarantine costs, which includes 3 meals a day, are about $2,000 in the UK. Yeah, no, thank you. I do not need to go to the United Kingdom. But I've heard stories like not that high, but I've heard crazy stories like people going to third world countries when the local people in that country have to pay for a COVID test. They're paying like $1 to $5, something like that, for a test. But when the foreigner arrives in the same building to get that same test, they have to pay $200 for the little swabbing of your brain. They stick the thing so far up your nose. I've seen so many videos of that, and I hope I never, ever have to do. I hope that everything just finishes and there's no more testing. You don't even need a test when you travel, because I do not want that whole thing to enter my brain. Whoa, it looks so disgusting, so painful. Oh my God. But yeah, the $2,000 bill is also painful. Vietnam is so peaceful because nobody is typing on Facebook, so I have to read everything on YouTube. And nobody's typing a lot on YouTube. Everybody's pretty quiet too. Why? I don't know. Vietnam is so peaceful because their government is controlling COVID pandemic is so good. Yeah, could be. When it first started, I know there was news that I read that Vietnam was handling it really, really well. So that's cool. Are you coming to Bangladesh again? Yeah, I want to. I will. I just don't know when. The situation right now it's insane. So once the world opens back up, I do want to go back. This time, I want to travel alone. Not the whole time, but I want to travel some time alone. When I was in Bangladesh before, my whole trip was planned by other people. Anybody who reached out to me and said, hey, come here and hang out here, I would say, okay. This was 85% of the people I met online first, and then the remainder was people I met in person walking down the street, and just random people like, hey, come to my village. I'm like, okay, let's go. Like, no joke. That's how I did it. So that was almost 30 days in Bangladesh. And so I barely even walked on the street alone. So I want to go back and just go. We'll see what happens. How is the COVID situation there? Masks, etc. If I go outside, I would say close to 5% of people wear a mask. That includes men, women, children, elderly people. It's just totally random. You'll see parents walking without a mask, but their children are wearing masks. You will see parents wearing masks, but the children don't. You will see elderly people wear them. You will see elderly people not wear them. So it's just totally random. I don't know. I have very, very strong opinions about this whole situation, and I should probably not discuss them on this call. It's just so frustrating. If you look at the numbers, this just is just so stupid. I don't know. Makes me frustrated. How about Laos or Cambodia? So I've been to Cambodia. I've talked about this before in several other live streams. Cambodia, I have mixed feelings. I did not have a wonderful time in Cambodia. The culture was very difficult for me. How do I describe it? Everywhere you go in Asia, people generally want to speak to you and know you and talk to you and help you. And if you want to have a conversation with someone, they're like excited. But only in Cambodia was the country where nobody wanted to talk to me at all. I tried to meet people. I tried to interact with people. If I started a conversation with someone, I felt that they tried to end it as fast as possible, which is absolutely opposite in every Asian country that I've been in. Every other country I've been to in Asia, you have to end the conversation because the local person will not. They just want to talk to you like all day long for 25 hours. Like, I'm not kidding. Even though there's 24 hours in a day, I know. But I don't know. So Cambodia was weird. Their culture was just different. And yeah, so I couldn't interact with many Cambodians. There was a couple of people that I did. There's a couple of people that I traveled with, but it's very rare. I mean, like 2 times out of the whole month that I was there, which in other countries, I mean, it's like 3 times per day with people. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings. And then plus, everywhere I went, it was just foreigners. I couldn't get away from foreigners in Cambodia. I was shocked how many foreigners there were. So yeah, I don't know. Mixed feelings about Cambodia. If I go back to Cambodia, hello, Nasmin. If I go back to Cambodia, I would go to the northeast, I think. That's where I feel there are the least amount of tourists. After I exited Cambodia, I tried to do a lot of research about where that location would be, the northeast. So if I go back, it'll be the northeast, and hopefully it'll be less touristic, and I'll get more of an authentic experience. Maybe people just didn't want to talk to me there because they're so used to seeing foreigners, very similar to Thailand. Thailand, almost nobody wanted to interact with me there because I think foreigners are everywhere and it's just common. But in India, it's not common. Bangladesh, it was not common at all. And so everyone wants to talk to you, and it makes my job easier because my job, I guess, is to meet many people. That's what I try to do, meet people, talk to people. So anyway, I could talk to you forever about that. But hippopotamus in Chinese is so accurate. Huma, yeah. Who? Silk, where are you? She did not respond. Maybe. Vietnam, in Vietnamese, how do you say hippopotamus? I don't know if she knows the word hippo. Hippo, the big, fat animal that can swim, but it just walks underwater. Hippopotamus. It's hama, I think. I'm going back so many years in my brain. So hama and huma. And I did not learn any Chinese. Like, I think I learned like 6 words, 10 words. That's it in Chinese. It was so difficult for me. But Vietnamese was easier. I don't know why. Are you going to get vaccines? No, I will refuse them. And if I go back to the United States and they force me, I will fight that till the death. I refuse those vaccines. No, thank you. But it's not just this vaccine. It's all vaccines. I don't want them in my body. No, thank you. If they just give me an inoculation of the bacteria, of the virus, surrounded by saline water, no problem. Let's do it. I'll do it today. But they don't. The other ingredients in that vaccine is what I do not want. And there have been countless tests of what's inside, and it's just absolute poison. It doesn't harm you immediately. Some people die immediately, but Generally, it's a long-term effect. You will see the effects 5, 8, 10, 12 years later because of the harmful things inside that, mainly mercury. So yeah, no thank you. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Oh my God, now you guys are talking. Okay, keep talking, because if you don't talk, then I have nothing to talk about. By the way, Nadsman, if you're still there, I have to send a video to your brother. I was on my hard drive 2 days ago looking for something, making the video that I'm going to release in the next, I don't know, few days. And I came across this video of your brother. What was it? Oh, he was teaching me Tagalog. I was at your house. He was teaching me Tagalog, and it was, I don't know, it was just funny. He was trying to get me to say some words, and I don't know, but I have to send this video to you. I haven't seen it in like 4 years, so I'm sure he hasn't either. Anyway, let's go back up here. Hip Hop Anonymous. Yes, I do. What movie was that? That was Big Daddy. Hip Hop Anonymous. Yeah, I remember this. I think, wasn't it Big Daddy? Yeah, it was Big Daddy. Oh my God, I lost where. Here. Which country do you like the most so far? Oh my God, everyone asked that. Everyone asked me that question. I would say first and second place, it's a tie. I don't know. I don't know which one is first. I don't know which one is second. It's between the Philippines and India. Those two countries were my favorite. But what's crazy is India, this is my middle finger, India and Bangladesh were very similar to me. I don't know. So 3 countries, India, Bangladesh. I think India wins because they have a long visa. I can stay here for longer. And Bangladesh was so expensive for 1 month for a visa. So I would say Philippines, India, they're both in first place, they're second place. And then third place is Vietnam. I loved Vietnam. Vietnam was really, really, really cool. The people, the beauty, the culture was so strange to me. Yeah, I would say Vietnam. I want to go back. I really want to go back to, I want to go back to the Philippines also. Hello, hello. But the visa was too expensive. I try to be cheap as possible. All I see is, yes, I could go to all of these countries. I could go to Dubai, but if I go and hang out for a couple of months, shit, all of my money will be gone so fast because some of these places are so expensive. And so I try to be cheap as possible to keep my journey going as long as possible. The Philippines, it's definitely cheap after you're there, but the government and the visa is super expensive. Not super, but I mean, for a guy who doesn't have an income and has been traveling on savings for 5 years, it's expensive. I would say it was something like, it was like $100 a month, something like that. The first month is free. After that, it was like $100 a month. I read an article online. That's what the guy at the immigration told me, because he said you don't pay month by month. You can buy a 6-month visa, and it's like $650, so more than $100 a month. But then I read something online where if you go to a specific area in the airport and talk to a specific department, then you can get it for like $250 for 6 months. So hell, I don't know. If that's possible, yeah, I mean, I would pay that and go back. Vietnam reduced their prices also because so that's a thing. I can get like a 6-month visa in Vietnam now, which is wonderful. I'm wondering which country. I'm wondering which. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm wondering what country made you feel like you're in America the most in terms of rules and how things work. Canada. Canada. You cross into Canada, everyone sounds the same as you. They sound American, except when they pronounce the letter O, the OU sound. Instead of saying house, let's go to my house, they would say, let's go to my hoose. Or I want to go, let's talk about this drink. They would say, let's talk about this drink. But then they would also use the word brother a lot. Oh, hey brother, how are you? Their pronunciation was so good. I thought Americans like generally spoke clear. I try to speak clear when I'm speaking to you, but in Canada, they really talk clearly like this. At least the parts where I was that I traveled in, their speech was so perfect, and they pronounced everything just so perfectly, brother, like that. It was really weird. So that was cool. But everything else is the same, except when you're driving and you go to an intersection. In the United States, we have green, yellow, and red. And if it's flashing red, that means that you have to stop, and then if it is safe, you can go. But in Canada, they have red, probably flashing red, yellow, and then green, and then flashing green. Like, what the hell is flashing green? Like, go real fast. We don't know. I don't know. So we couldn't figure out. I was with my grandparents. They didn't know what the hell to do. Like, what the hell is flashing green? So I don't know. It was really weird. Just go quickly, maybe. I don't know. But everything was basically the same, except their culture was more friendly. They were more welcoming, quicker, more helpful. Yeah, I don't know. I really do think Americans are extremely generous, extremely helpful. Like if someone here from whatever country you're from, if you go to the United States and you have a problem, oh my God, my phone is dead, I need to call someone. Someone will give you their phone, no problem. You're in the grocery line and you're $2 short. You're like, oh my God, I didn't bring enough money. Someone behind you will probably give you money, and oh yeah, it's no problem. It's not a big deal. Like you have a flat tire, people stop and say, oh, do you need help? Like we just culturally we help people. We don't talk to you. We don't bother you. If everything is okay, we only like stop and talk to you if there's a problem, and we will try to help you. But in Canada, it was like that multiplied by 2. Everybody was just so friendly and so helpful and so caring. I don't know. I would love to go back to Canada. I traveled with my grandparents and a couple cousins, but I would love to go back alone just to dive into the culture a bit more and talk to more people. I don't know. It was just a little more friendly than America, which is weird. I don't know. To answer your question. You don't want to go to South Korea and North China? South Korea, yeah, I would go to North Korea if they would allow me, but I think Americans are still banned from the incident like 5 years ago. So I don't think I can go, but I totally would. South Korea, I do, but South Korea is not super cheap. I know, I focus on money a lot, don't I? I always talk about the cheap things. I do, because all I can see is my savings just disappearing faster and faster and faster. I barely get paid anything on YouTube, so I mean, it's enough to buy like this every day. Woo. YouTube does not pay very much, which is, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, until magically I have a huge channel and a large audience and income is much better, until that happens, I have to just go slow, spend very little money, spend it as slow as possible. And the way to do that is go to cheaper countries. South Korea, especially if I go to the cities, it's not cheap. I would have to visit like the countrysides and areas like that, but I still think it's not like Southeast Asia. So in the future, I would love to go, totally. I would love to go to so many countries, but it's just, I have to look through the goggles of money. How much will it cost? I just cannot throw thousands and thousands here and there. That'll kill me. So I have to be very strategic, unfortunately. But yes, I would love to go. And North China, so many places I want to visit in China. But now I have become more concerned about going back to China because of the new rules that they issued recently in the last 6 months. It's kind of frightening. So basically, right now, if I'm talking to you on this and I say something negative against their government, anything, they now have legal grounds because everything is recorded, and we all know how much their government influences YouTube and the United States. And if you don't know this, you can research all this on your own. But there are huge influences done by that government. So anyway, if I say something bad, and I say, okay, I want to go back to China. I still have a 10-year visa that I still have like 8 more years on that visa. And I cross the border. The second I cross, I can be arrested and thrown into prison for the rest of my life because I said something bad on this call right now. I'm not joking. So it's possible that I have said something bad in the past. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sure I have. I've said some things about many governments, including my own. And so it's possible that they have that as a recording, and it's possible that I cross the border and I'm screwed. And there's nothing that my government can do to get me out of those situations. They are very strict. So part of that makes me a little bit concerned about going back. Maybe they have dirt on me that I don't know about. I just don't know. It makes me really nervous. So China, I don't know. I would love to go back if I knew I'd be totally safe, but it makes me more nervous right now with their new regulations. It must be very hot and humid there, so probably less transmission. Older places seem to fare poorly. I don't know what you're talking about. But okay, yes, it is extremely hot and humid. My fan is on high. I'm still sweating right now because it's so hot in my room. Yeah, really, really hot. During the day, it's about 100, a little bit more than probably 100 to 102, 105 degrees Fahrenheit every day. Celsius, I don't know, probably 40 to 44, something like that every day. It's really hot, full sun. Hello from Vietnam. Hello. Cambodia near the Laos border is more to your liking. I know, it sounds amazing. I want to go. Cambodia near the Laos. Yeah. That side. Laos. Yeah, the northern. Isn't that in the north? Oh my God, geography. Yeah, it's got to be in the north. I think you would like it. Like Laos is more similar to India, but even more rural. Yeah, I think that'd be amazing because those are the places where most foreigners don't go, I think. So therefore, it'd be more fun. Vaccine is the virus in your body. You won't take it either. Yeah, I know. If you want to take it, go for it. It's just my personal choice. I don't know. I don't even want to get into that topic. Some people would hate me for it, but I'm a nerd. I just came back my home from the borders. It's 10 p.m. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's late there, huh? Yeah. You go to Cambodia almost every day, back and forth between Cambodia and Vietnam. Ever tried to get an income by teaching English online? That's a whole nother story. Have you ever traveled to Japan or Korea before? No, never been in Korea, never been in Japan. Both countries I would love to go to, but again, the money, I cannot afford it. I don't know what that is. Kiber. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, I would love to go. Really, I would love to go there. Unfortunately, it's just not something that I can afford right now. So, nope. I can, but I don't want to. I don't want to afford it. It's just too much. Yeah. Don't go to any first world Asian countries. Your savings will evaporate quickly. I know. Okay, South Korea, Japan, China, Singapore. Yeah, China, if you go, generally people go to the main cities. I stayed in Shenzhen for 6 months, and if I was not staying with that man at his house, oh my God, I would have spent so much money so fast. It was not cheap in that city. The cost of housing, the houses, rent, food, I mean, some of the prices were equal to the United States or even more expensive than the United States, really. So, but if you got out of China and went to like the villages, oh man, the prices would just dramatically decrease, dramatically. Nothing like India, but pretty close. It was cheap. But I think in that country, at least, I think it would be really difficult for a foreigner to go there to rent alone. I don't know. Their rules are really complicated. If a foreigner goes the foreigner is responsible for the foreigner when he is going to a new location. So if I'm going from one hotel to another, it is my responsibility to go before the end of the night and go to the local police station and fill out all this paperwork saying, I'm a foreigner, I'm from this country, I'm staying in this hotel, and this is how long I will be here, and this is when I'm leaving. Paperwork, 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 submit it. And if I don't, if I'm late by the deadline, I think it's something like midnight of that night, then I can pay a $2,000 fine. That's what I read on websites about visiting China. I could get charged $2,000 by not going to the police station and registering and filling out all the forms. So you would think it would be the hotel would be responsible for just sending that. Nope, it's the foreigner who is responsible to go in. So I don't know. It's just so weird. So if I went to a village, I don't know how to do it. I think it would just be difficult to do this whole process. I would need a local to help me. But when I was in Vietnam, oh my God, so easy. I just went to anywhere I wanted, village or not, and say, hey, is there a room here? They said, yeah. And then I'd say, I have money and a passport. They said, perfect, copy, here's your room, done. I mean, I would choose a place to stay and I would be inside within like 15 minutes, so fast. Here in India, well, I've been here for more than 2 years. I've been to more than 100 different locations between hotels and rooms and lodges to stay in, and two have accepted. The rest have denied me. Obviously, I have stayed in a couple of hotels. It's complicated to explain. I don't know how to describe. So a foreigner must stay in 3-star or above hotel, otherwise they can decline you. It's the weirdest thing. Obviously, this is not a 3-star or above location behind me, that room that I'm in, so I got lucky. So 2 lodges, 2 long-term places to rent allowed me. The rest declined me. And I mean, at least 100, if not more. This is North India, Central India, South India. It's just so complicated in India. But in Vietnam, just let me copy your passport. They go to the police station, write your name on a book, and then you give them money, and it's done. They even hooked up internet for me. I paid them a couple extra dollars, and they gave me internet and power. I just prepaid everything. It was so easy, so fast. It was so efficient in Vietnam. Loved it. But here in this country, it's just a nightmare. I could talk to you for hours about how difficult it is here, unfortunately, for a foreigner. Have you ever traveled? Don't go to any first world. Okay. For how much can you rent an apartment in that part of India? Oh my God. It depends. There are people who rent rooms similar to this who pay as low as $25, $35 US per month. That's probably the very lowest you could find. And you can rent really nice rooms in really nice places for, I mean, if you paid $500 US, that would be like luxury upon luxury. You can get a really nice place for $200 US a month somewhere. I don't know where. I've never stayed in those, but it would be like a luxury type of place. Very nice. When I stayed in Udaipur, North India, I stayed in a friend. I met a guy and his family, and I stayed there for a while. He told me he paid 8,000 rupees, so that's probably $100 a month, and it was a whole house. It was the upper part of the whole house. It was a new build, like 2 years old, and it was very beautiful in a nice area. Very beautiful inside, really nice. So I would say it was luxury. And so he paid $100 for that. So that gives you an idea. But for a foreigner to rent places, it's just so damn complicated. So I was very fortunate to find, I went to so many places in this whole area, not just area, the whole city, so many places. And this is what I found. Everyone else said no. So yeah, it's like falling apart, but it's all I can give. Is it easy for foreigners to get around there for tourism? Yes and no. In India, if you've been here for a while and you know how the system operates, for me, I can go anywhere and do anything in any part of the country, whether it's a bus, a train, a taxi, a rickshaw, no problem. I'm pretty much an expert now. But oh man, in the beginning, it is a nightmare. You will just want to download an app and like Ola or something, Uber, and just do everything online. And even that is complicated because sometimes they don't speak your language, and so you have to communicate. But the phone usually works okay, but it's complicated. But it's I would say India is the second most difficult country I've ever traveled in. If you're a foreigner and you don't know how the system works. Number one, Bangladesh, just beyond confusing. The main reason, it's very similar to India, but it's even less developed, which is hard to imagine in certain areas. But the language, you cannot read the language. There's basically almost no English anywhere, which whatever. But the number system, there's not the 1 and 2 and 3, doesn't exist. It's and that's the number. So it's in their Bengali language. They don't use 1, 2, 3 like we do. It's like it's in the script. So what's interesting is the one number that does look similar is the number 8, but number 8 means 4. So we'll figure that out. It's really complicated. So that was the most difficult place ever. I couldn't figure it out. Yeah. Are there short excursions from your city that will make great vlogs, like hill stations, Kodaikanal? Yeah. So I'm going to go. I was supposed to go to Kodaikanal. My phone was stolen, and it was going to be 2 days later I was going, so I had to cancel. And then a different friend invited me to Kodaikanal, and then the day before we were going to meet, she canceled. So, oh my God, I'm trying to get to Kodaikanal soon. I guess I just prefer that I would go with a local. There's a friend nearby. When he has free time, we will go together. He was in another video that you've probably seen before. So yeah, I will go. There's other places. There's a village that I was going to go to today, but I forgot something, so I had to return home, so I will go tomorrow. So hopefully the next video that you see will be, I got the hiccups. Hopefully the next video that you see will be a village video. Yeah, but there's other places around here. Yeah. Don't you get bored to stay a place for so long? Yeah, no. Like this city, I was bored for 3 weeks because I had no internet and no cell phone. That was terrible. That was probably the most boring 3 weeks of my life. But there are so many areas that I could just go and walk and explore here. So no, I don't get bored here. But would I like more freedom just to go? Yeah. If it wasn't the whole pandemic thing happening right now, I would not be here. I would have stayed for a week and then go to somewhere else, stay for a week, go somewhere else, stay. That's what I would be doing right now. I would not stay here for this long, I don't think. Unless I have a lot of editing to do, like if I recorded so many vlogs and I just need to sit for a month or 2, then I would. But generally, I just want to keep going and going and going. I am back. Do you remember me? No, I don't. You still in Madurai? I don't know the name, but still in Madurai, yes. India is curry capital of the world. Are you burnt out on curry? I don't eat curry very often. That's like the main thing, right? Curry. No. Curry is much more common in the north. In the south, I don't know. I don't see it very often. But it's everywhere in the north. So I just eat the same thing every day because it's clean, omelets. And then for lunch, I have like vegetable rice. So it's like rice with tons of vegetables, and then they mix eggs in there. So it's like egg rice with vegetables. And then I ask them to go to, they usually cook meat and curry, I guess. Curry, they call it gravy, in the back. And it's like red, the color red with spices. And so they give me like this little cup. I bring it back and then I pour it all over my rice and then I eat it. It's a little spicy, but it's really, really, really good. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. I'm doing better now that I have a SIM card, and internet. Oh, thank God. And if you're going to Hyderabad, you should eat special chicken biryani from Sri Gana restaurant in Telangana. Okay. One of my favorite, I would say my favorite dish in India, one of them is biryani. Chicken biryani, egg biryani, mutton biryani. I love it. It's so good. Sri Lanka is more known for its curries, as far as I know. Yeah, it could be. I don't know, because the governments won't let me go to Sri Lanka yet. So hopefully soon. Being English teacher in Chinatown, you would get good pay, even save some money, experience culture at the same time. Totally. Yeah. I mean, I taught when I was in Vietnam for a year, and so much fun. I enjoyed it, but it also comes with a lot of stress, and I don't think I want to do it again. I loved the people that I met, but there wasn't a lot of freedom. The amount of free time that I had was very, very little. The income was awful, but I'm not complaining because the whole experience was good. I just wish I had more free time and I could have went more places. So 95% of my entire year and 3 months in Vietnam, I was busy, and I didn't explore. Only 5% of the time I went and did something fun, like other than teach. So, what was I going to say? I don't know. So I want to go back to Vietnam and just explore, just go places and do stuff. That's what I want to do. Yeah. Was the phone thief caught? No, he was not, unfortunately. So frustrating, the Indian police. I'm sure you've seen it in the story, but yeah, like the police come and instead of saying, "Oh, which way did he go? Let's go right now, and we might be able to catch him before he makes it into his house or room or area or neighborhood, or maybe someone's seen him walking and they said, oh, this way." Nope, they don't do any of that shit. All they say is, you, which country are you from? What is your mother's name? What is your father's job? What did you eat for breakfast? Are you kidding me? Like, are you married? What is the purpose of you being here in India? Why are you asking me all these questions? A man just about chopped me into pieces with a butcher knife, and he's right over here, and you're worried about what my father's job is. So pissed, so frustrating. The stupidity is just, I can't even handle the stupidity. So anyway, no, he is not caught. He got away. My setting on Google, apparently I turned it off. My GPS, save the GPS signal and track my phone. I turned it all off because I don't like Google tracking everything that I do. It's weird. But now I turned it on. So if someone steals this phone, I will get a clearer picture of where he ran to, I guess. So yeah, really frustrating. I have a small tummy. I can literally fit a whole box of biryani. Yeah, stuff is so good. What phone did you get, Brock? Did I miss the SIM and phone story? Yes, you did. You will have to watch the video from the beginning. But yeah, what was I going to say? It'll be recorded. But I got my phone is here. It's this Xiaomi 10T Pro. Xiaomi 10T Pro. Yeah. Yeah, it's really powerful. I mean, just the RAM inside is 8 gigabytes of RAM. So powerful, so fast. But I didn't get the one that I wanted. You'll have to check out this story. No problem. As for renting challenges, I found using Ask on your behalf is the best way. I know, but if you're in a country and you don't know anyone, then it's a bit difficult. So yeah. As I'm traveling in India, I've made a lot of contacts. So if I go back to certain areas, certain cities, yes, I can send people messages and say, hey, can you help me? And they would totally help me. And it would probably be easy. But being alone, it's like a nightmare. Glad you got a phone, dude. Yeah, me too, because this was getting old. What countries you dislike among all the countries you visit? That's harsh. I don't like to use the word dislike because there's many things within the country that I did like, but people are going to hate me because I have an audience, a small audience in that country still. But I would say out of all of the countries that I visited and just like actually traveled in, Cambodians listening right now. Yeah, it was just the level of cheating was just so high. Um, a local wants to buy a coconut, it's 50 cents, 75 cents. If I want to buy it, it's $1 or $1.50. If I want to buy a bottle of water, it's $1, but for the locals, it's 25 cents, stuff like that. So everything that I would buy had to be so much higher. A rickshaw, small taxi, from one location to another, they pay 35 cents. I want to do the same thing, it's $2. I mean, it got really frustrating. No matter where you went, you could not. And if you try to negotiate and say, no, I know the local price, it's not that much, to say, okay, bye, and they'll drive away, they'll go away, or they won't sell you the bottle of water, they won't sell you the coconut, they just ignore you. They say, okay, if you don't pay the cheating price, then you don't get the item. It's just like that. And even so, they walk away, they turn their back, they just start talking to someone else. And if I walk away, you would think, okay, now they'll negotiate. Nope, they let me walk away. They don't care. It was just, you either give me all of the extra money or I won't give you the item. But then a local could walk and order the same thing, order that bottle of water, 25 cents for you. But you're white, so you have to pay triple price. So that got so frustrating. It just, it happened so much. It wasn't once or twice or three times. It was every single day, every single shop, trying to reconnect. Oh my God. Okay, that one's disconnected. But anyway, it got frustrating. So let me exit out of that. Whew. My phone is really hot from broadcasting. So anyway, yeah, that was frustrating for me. So I would say Cambodia goes down as my least favorite country. However, I would still go back. Maybe the reason why I said before I would go back as long as I went to the north is because possibly in that area they're not used to seeing foreigners, and so therefore cheating just doesn't really happen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but that was probably my least favorite place that I have visited out of every country, out of 23 or 24 countries. I was even there, and I met a woman from France. She was. I think it's working this time. My phone is just playing my voice automatically. I think I'm live, but I'm not sure how strong my connection is. So weird. It just starts playing even though my phone was off. So I met the woman from France while I was in Cambodia. On the first day, the next morning we were talking. She was so excited. She was telling me this story. I am so excited about being in Cambodia. This was her first time, my first time, hers also. And it was her first day. She was just so excited. She said, ever since I was 10 years old in school, I picked up a book and there was a photo of Angkor Wat, the biggest temple in the world, in Cambodia. And we were in that area, Siem Reap. And the biggest temple in the world, and it was so beautiful, she was just shocked and mesmerized. And she said, I'm going to go there in the future when I'm an adult. So her whole life she's wanted to go there, and finally she is here. So she was so damn excited to go to this place and be in this country. After the second day, she came back. She was somewhere all day, and she came back, and we were talking. She's like, I want to go home. She says, I hate this place. She said, this is just terrible. You're not even a human being here. This was her words, not mine. She says, you're not even a human being here. She said, everybody just looks at you and just expects you to give them money. They just demand extra money out of you, even though the price is this. You have to pay more because you're a foreigner. No one cares about you as a human being. You are just a walking bank account. That's it. She said, I talked to so many different people, and it was the same every time. The only time people come up to you and start talking to you, you think, oh, they're your friends, and they want to be your friend. They're very kind and polite, and they're talking and talking and talking. But at the end, the whole purpose was to get money from you. Because if they can be your friend, then oh, please, will you give me $10? Oh, just only $10, something like that. So she said it happened so much in the first 2 days that she said, I want to go home. It's just insane. So that gives you an idea. Maybe she had many, many, many bad experiences, and I also did, but other foreigners didn't, and it's their favorite country and they love it. I have no idea. But from my perspective, interacting with tons of people, not just going to tourist areas and buying tons of stuff all over the country, that's my final conclusion, and it was hers too. So kind of frustrating. So sorry if you're from Cambodia and you're listening to this, but that's how I feel. Yeah. You got a modern smartphone, but Chinese phone data mine your info. I know. Just FYI, so be careful with your settings. I know. Nothing I can do. Yeah. It's either the Chinese has my information or the United States mines my information. Someone can mine it. It's actually both, because Google's on the phone, so Google in the US is mining everything, but there's probably a back door where they're also collecting information and sending it to China, I'm sure. So it's probably both countries. I have no idea. All right, last couple questions, and then I'm going to go soon. So if you have a question, you better submit it soon. I gotta find where I left off. That's, okay, wait. Oh wow, you guys did submit quite a few. I'm not sure if I can get through them all, or I'll have to answer quickly. Dude, I've been in India for a year now, and the police are very bad. They usually get bribed. They are accusing innocent people. Yeah, could be. I don't know. I don't speak to them very often. I don't know how they operate. I know there's a lot of corruption because I talk to local people, not just here, but all over India, and they always tell me that Indian police are the worst. That's the local people telling me. I don't know. I've only had one experience with them where I needed their help, and they completely failed miserably. Not just because they didn't find the phone. That's not the failure. The failure is you're focusing your attention on things that don't matter rather than the matter at hand. So yeah, but what's interesting is I've had police friends in India. In fact, my neighbor in the previous place is a police officer, and wonderful human being. Love talking to him. I enjoy his friendship and his company. He's a great, great person. Yeah, but I don't know. I just think the way they operate are different. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But the experience I had was not very good when I needed them. What's the worst scam you got into in India? The worst scam? Someone tried to be my friend for like 3 hours, and we were slowly building a friendship, and I took them to a 4-star restaurant, very nice, very expensive restaurant. We were eating, and I paid the man, and while I was talking to someone, they went in my bag and took out all of my money, which was at the time, it was about $100 US, so about, I don't know, 8,000 rupees, something like that, if I did that math right. Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. So yeah, even the people that you thought you could trust, you can't. So now it's very, very difficult for me to build a friendship with people. It really is. They're like, oh, I'm being so kind to you. Like, why are you not, like, why are we not best friends? This is why. Because people will put on the biggest face, the biggest show just to get at something from you. And so you don't see it coming. So it really takes a long time to build a friendship, unfortunately. Whoa, I'm never going to Cambodia. Yeah, it's frustrating. I'm sorry. But I guess it's better that you hear it now so you don't go there and spend $2,000, $3,000 on a vacation, and then you didn't like it. So I guess it's better to know in advance. But there are people who go and just fall in love with Cambodia, and they love it. I don't know, they just love it. So, but I guess I'm a different type of traveler. I go and judge people. I don't like judge them, but I observe people. I try to understand culture. I don't stick to the tourist areas. Most foreigners, they literally go to the tourist areas only, and they're like, oh, how much does it cost? Okay, here's the money. They don't question anything. They don't think about anything. They don't compare and contrast. They just do what they're told, and then they go home. They're like, yep, Cambodia was great, but they have no idea how many times they were scammed. They have no idea how many times they were cheated, ripped off, lied to. They have no idea because they're just like, oh, okay, here's the money, done. And anyway, so I guess when you dive into the culture, into the people, into everything deep, you start to see the real picture from the local perspective, and then you realize, this is what it's really like here. And I do that in every country, and every country is not like that. It was just Cambodia. And then Bangladesh. Bangladesh had so much cheating, it was unbelievable. But what's interesting is the people were super kind. So if you were doing business, they would try to cheat you. It didn't matter if you were in a village, a town, or a city. It did not matter. They would try to cheat you. So that was so frustrating in Bangladesh. Everyone, everywhere. It just was constant. It was just as bad, if not worse, than Cambodia. But the people in Bangladesh, if you were not doing business, just the people, oh my God, they were so wonderful, so great. They were so just wonderful people. But in Cambodia, I couldn't talk to the people. It was either I was doing business, like buying something, or when I tried to talk to people, they just had no interest, none, zero. They just didn't have an interest in communicating, talking, none. That was in every part, not one city, not one village, not one town, everywhere. So it was the cheating plus the lack of communication, I guess, the interest of communication. That's what I guess I just didn't care for it very much. But in Bangladesh, doing business was terrible. I hated it. Going to a restaurant, I hated it because the price on the menu was this, but then you have to pay more because you're white. That's what it was in Bangladesh. So frustrating. But the moment you walk outside and you're just out exploring and talking and walking, oh my God, people were wonderful. It was really good. So I love Bangladesh, but just not doing business. And how do you ask? Are you the room rental sign? Oh, my screen keeps bouncing, so I keep losing it. Every time someone types, my screen moves. And how? What the hell? Where'd it go? And how do you ask? Are the room rental signs, or are you asking randomers? Yeah, I go into a hotel, I go into a room, I go into a lodge and say, hey, I will even ask local people, and they say, oh, that is a lodge over there also, even though it's not labeled, and I'll go, it doesn't matter, I just get denied and denied and denied. That's in India. But basically every other Asian country I had no problem. Philippines was super simple, Vietnam was super simple, Cambodia, simple. Cambodia is full of expats in the cities because people are forbidden to go into the rural areas because of the landmines. Yeah, this is why we see lots of foreigners. That could be. Yeah, I went to the rural areas, but I was told only stay on the path because if there's a trail, that means people walked there before. So if you step off the trail, you could die. So kind of frightening. What you like and dislike about China? I cannot say that on this call because they're listening, I'm sure. The money system, I did not like. You have to use WeChat and you must have your own bank account in China. Like, how convenient is that? It was so terrible. Because if you pay cash, I even walked to the post office and gave them money to pay for a postcard. And they're like, money? Like, you're giving me money? I'm like, yeah, money. It's Chinese money. And they're like, okay, this is weird. And they didn't even have change to give me back. So they gave me more change because they didn't want to give me less change. So weird. So anyway, money in China is like weird. They don't want cash. They want you to scan using the QR code using WhatsApp. But if you don't have a Chinese bank account, then it's just a problem for foreigners. But the man that was there, that I was with, he connected his WhatsApp to my WhatsApp, and then I used it through his account. So I don't know. But that was a big issue. The people are wonderful, but I'm not a big fan of there's a lot. I'm not going to go too much into that because I'm sure they're listening, and potentially I want to go back to that country. Landmines, yeah, I knew what you meant. Bhutan and Nepal would be options for traveling, not Bhutan, I don't care for that. Nepal, yeah, but Bhutan, I believe, is the small country where foreigners have to pay huge amounts of money to go to a super cheap country, and I don't like that either. I don't like going to the Taj Mahal in India. I refuse. When a local can pay like 50 rupees to go in, but when a white man goes in, oh, he needs to pay 1,000. Why? Yeah, and you could say, oh, well, it's not racist. It's not racist. Well, yes, it is, because if you are Indian, you get in for 50 rupees. If you are not Indian, you need to pay more. It's just from my perspective, it is. And they say, no, 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 it's all about money. It's money. You come from a rich country. Oh, so you need to pay more. So what about the rich Indians who just walked in? He came in, he drove up using his fast car and his super expensive motorcycle and his nice jewelry and his big house, but he's visiting for the day. He still pays 50 rupees. So it's not about the bank account. It's about cheating foreigners. So I don't support that. So the same reason I did not go to Angkor Wat, Cambodia. I drove past on a motorbike, took a photo, kept going. I will not go inside. It's just, to me, it's just government's cheating. That's all it is. So nope. So anyway, Bhutan, you have to pay like $250. You cannot enter alone and explore alone. You have to have a guide, but guides start at $250 per day. So you have to pay $250 a day plus your food plus your hotel. It's just like, it's absurd. The local people live off $100 a month. $100 a month people live in that country, the locals. But you're telling me I have to rent a man to walk with me for $250 a day? It's just cheating. It's just corruption, and I choose not to support that. I think it's Bhutan. I can't remember. So if you want to go for it, but ugh, I don't like it. Oh my God, I've been talking for so long. Okay, last couple questions, I think. The only reason I like China is capsule hotel. Oh yeah, but capsule hotels are like in every country now. They're a thing. I've seen videos and photos in so many countries, so you can go to many places. How is food safety there? Where is there? In other words, how often do you get sick because of the food? India, it's terrible. Like, it's just beyond awful. It's not even just street food. If you go to nice restaurants where they wear, even the servers wear uniforms, you just hair. They lift shit with their bare hands after they've been touching their face or their mouth or picking their own nose. I swear on my life. They will reach and grab your food and put it on your plate with their bare hands. Like, you can't even believe it. Don't use any utensils or spatulas or anything. So it's really, I can't tell you how many times that I've ordered food, paid for, I've watched them make it, and I'm like, that shit is not going in my mouth. I just won't even eat it. Or I'll cut half of it in half and push it because I see what they did. And then I'll just cut it in half and eat this half, throw it away, and then go somewhere else and eat more. It's really frustrating to watch people prepare food in this country, in many parts of Asia. It's not just India. It's just they lack a lot of education when it comes to food prep and hygiene, food hygiene. I don't know how to say it. So that's one of the main reasons I like rice, because they just quick cook it, put it on your plate, and it's done. But and then an omelet, they just cook it, put it on your plate. But man, if you get certain types of foods, they just use their bare hands for everything. I swear, I watched a man. It was very hot. They did not have the fans going. The fans were not on in the room. And the server, was pouring sweat. And he had a button shirt that was open a little bit. And it's just pouring sweat. I'm like, yeah, it's hot in here. Turn on the fan. He's like, yeah. He says, yeah, it's so hot. And he's rubbing his chest. Water is dripping down his arm from his chest. And so he wipes it on his shirt. He goes right over to the next meal that was prepared, picks it up with his bare hands, puts it on the plate that is just disgusting, walks it over to the customer, picks it up again with that hand, puts it on the man's plate. I'm not kidding. I can't make this up. And this is just one example of just endless I have seen in 2 years in India alone. But this is mainly in India, because even in Vietnam, sometimes the cooking process is unclean, but they use utensils. In India, everything is hands, hands. I swear to God. So they pick shit up with their hands. I could tell you just disgusting stories. It's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. And sometimes I get so angry inside. I just want to start yelling at people because how do you not know to take sweat off your body and grab someone's food and give it to them with your hands? Like, how can you be so stupid? Like, I just can't even, it kills me. But they are. They are. It's just, damn. How do you, I've been in places in Bangladesh where they go around and they have all of the food. Oh, do you want more rice? And do you want more soup or whatever? Not soup, but you want more rice, or do you want this? And I swear to you, it's rice mixed with oil and all these ingredients. And yeah, I want more rice. Okay, he reaches into the pot full of rice, gets a handful, puts it on your plate and walks away. Shit, just 2 days ago, I've watched 1,000 times where they take like a piece of bread, paratha, put it on the plate, and then they put sambar is what it's called, like liquid and spices on the piece of bread, and then you eat it. But you usually eat it with your hands, so you usually go down there and rip a piece, put it in your mouth. But some people don't want to do that, so they have the waiter come and they say, oh, and this man comes, and the waiter, after touching the table in this nasty, nasty rag that looks like it's from 1905, and it's brown. It used to be white, but it's like blackish brown, and he just rubs the tables and throws it in the corner, rubs other tables, don't even wash. Anyway, after he washes the tables, doesn't wash his hands, he goes and he just takes this man's bread mixed with soup and he rips it up into pieces, puts it on the plate. Okay, and the man's happy, he's happy, they just walk away, and he takes the rag and wipes his hand off and he just waits. Like, you just can't. And people wonder why they get sick and foodborne illnesses and parasites and all of these crazy things. So the regulation here is so frustrating. Anyway, I know there are Indians on this right now listening to me, and some of them are like, oh my God, yes, this really happens. And some of them are probably like, oh, you're angry, you're talking bad about my country. Yeah, well, what the hell? It's really frustrating. This is fact, and I'm not making this stuff up. And it's not once or twice or 3 times or 20 times. It is literally every damn day of my life for the last 2 years in India. I see this. It's really frustrating. So people ask, well, why do you eat omelets every day? Well, this is why. Because it's the cleanest food I can find. So is rice. I watch them prepare my rice. They scoop it up, put it in the bowl, and then pour it on my plate. So there's no hands going in. So anyway, yep. Now you have my heart pumping and blood boiling right now. It's just so frustrating. What's your dad's job? Yeah, I know, right? Hi, bro. How are you? Where are you now? ASEAN, Coimbatore district. Coimbatore. Yeah, someone invited me to Coimbatore. Actually, several people have invited me. I haven't gone yet. Maybe someday I will go. I don't know. I'm still in Madurai. I'm still in Madurai. I have not been to Uti yet. It's kind of far from Madurai, but soon I will probably go to Kodaikanal. So hopefully in the future you'll see a video of Kodaikanal. Try to visit American college campus. You will make your young educated contacts who will help history grow. Yeah, but from my perspective, it's weird to visit a school, like a college. Just let me walk into a college and walk around. Like, in my country, you'd be like arrested. Like, I don't know what would happen. It's just weird to me. I don't know. Choose a country to retire for the rest of your life. Which would you like? I don't know. Somewhere at the beginning of my channel, I said one of my goals is to, as I'm traveling to many countries, I take mental notes of culture and people and everything, because eventually I will retire, I guess, and I need to know which country I want to live in. So that's what I'm doing, is testing out all these countries. I really love Vietnam. I really love the Philippines. So if I love the Philippines, I will probably love Indonesia when I go, because they're very similar. But I really love India. I mean, even though the food problem is the food. Oh yeah, my light turned off. Even though there's a food cooking problem, I still love India. I mean, I could stay here forever. I really, really, really love it. It's just some things are frustrating. So I don't know. I'm still testing, but I could do India no problem. Oh God, yeah, I know some of these stories. So So if you like that story, for those 14 people who are on listening right now, in the next, I don't know, week, I want to go film at a village, make that video, post that video, and then after that, release the video that I made recently. And that is the top 4 craziest things I have seen or experienced while traveling in the last 5 years. And so some of the stories are going to be pretty wild. Yeah, so get ready for that. Yeah. Okay, I gotta go. But oh my God, that man stories made me roll. Yeah. Yeah, nothing like wiping some sweat on your burrata and that one. Anyway, have you experienced any racism throughout traveling? Not towards me, but I have seen. I can remember I was somewhere in India, and from a distance I can see boys fighting. They were young. They were like maybe 12 years old, something like that. Maybe a group of 4, and they were all beating up a younger boy who was maybe 10 or 11. He was a little bit smaller, and I kind of walked faster to get up there. I'm like, no, stop! Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, settle your differences through communication. You don't need to fight. Like, what the hell? Anyway, so I translated to figure out what was the reason why they were beating up. Oh, because he has darker skin. And sure enough, the boy had slightly darker skin than the other 3 boys. Like, what the hell? So you're just beating someone up because his skin is a little bit darker? They're like, yeah, shit, so terrible. But yeah, I would say the country that I've seen the most racism in was, yeah, I would say, yeah, India, Vietnam, it was there, but it was in a different way. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Vietnam was like, when I went there to teach, they were skin is very important. So white skin is like God. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. But in Asia, there's a white skin thing. People love white skin. I don't get it. So, for example, if I wanted to go teach English in Vietnam, looking the way that I do as a middle-aged white man, and then there was with no teaching degree of any kind. But then there's a black man who was born and raised in the United States. He speaks just like me. His English might even be better. And he's an English teacher. He's an educated, university-educated English teacher with a degree in teaching, but he's black. So if he wants to get a job in Vietnam, they'd be like, nope. Or, okay, but we'll give you less money. Yeah, because he's black. And so there's that thing. And I tried to ask some people about this when I was there, and it's something like, I don't know. It was weird. The description that he gave was something like, well, I don't want to hire a black man because all of the children will be very scared. They won't bond with him. They won't want to go into the classroom. They'll be very scared in the beginning. They will resist learning. They will resist trying to get an education from this man because he's black. He's black. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, how the hell? Like, I don't understand. He's more educated than me. And like, what? I just don't understand. Like, it's just skin. But from their perspective, I don't know. So culturally, it's different. There's a skin thing, not just Vietnam and many Asian countries. Like, people pay a lot of money to put creams on their skin to make their tan skin just slightly lighter. I'm thinking, why? Like, you have amazing, beautiful, tan-colored skin. Like, please trade with me. Like, I look like a damn ghost. I don't want this. I would prefer to be slightly darker. Nope, they want to be white like me. So I don't know. It's just so weird culture. Anyway. Okay, last question. I really have to go. Holy crap. It's 9:30 p.m. I still have so many things to do. The only problem is by the time you retire, most countries will be modernized. Yeah, probably. No problem. At least I got to experience everything along the way. You should just enjoy the rest of the travel now. Totally. Do you have a destination chosen for the next country? Yes, Sri Lanka. I've been waiting to go to Sri Lanka since April of last year, but it keeps being canceled and canceled and canceled and canceled and canceled. So eventually it will open. I will go to Sri Lanka, fly back to northern India to Pakistan, depending on the month that I go, and then back to India, and then another country. I don't know. So anyway, oh my God, another big one. In Vietnam and Southeast Asia, white skin is considered successful because white people are shown in all books, media around the world, accomplishing most advances in the world. Just an FYI, it's bad in my opinion. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's just, I don't know. I don't care if you're black or white or purple. Doesn't matter. Like, the only thing I care about is your kindness. Are you a kind person or are you not a kind person? Yeah, that's it. Anyway, cool. That was a lot of talking. Hopefully you all have a wonderful night, wonderful day, wherever you are in the world. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. And if nobody attacks me with a knife again, I will have another live stream in about a month. Anyway, have a good night, day, take care, adios.